As dawn settles on the Amazon, a bat opens wide and vomits blood into its companion's mouth, and it's not the first time they've shared a meal. Vampire bats are the only mammals to subsist on blood alone. Their ancient ancestors might have eaten parasites and insects of larger animals, till vampires began feeding directly from those larger animals themselves. There are three vampire bat species, all of which inhabit the warmer regions of Central and South America. Two of the three species, hairy-legged and wide-winged vampire bats, more often prey on birds, quietly creeping up tree branches while they roost. But the most abundant, abundant vampire bat species is the aptly named common vampire bat. Following the nighttime routine of one such bat, we see that she sets out in pitch black, mapping her surroundings with ultrasonic sound waves. Vampire bats are opportunistic hunters that have been observed to feed from snakes, sea lions, and pelicans. But they mostly take their meals from land mammals. And with the spread of agricultural areas, they increasingly target livestock. They've also been known to prey on humans, which carries dangers beyond just their bite. Bats are highly effective at dodging infections themselves, but they still carry pathogens. Vampire bats can transmit the rabies virus, making it all the more important that people living around them are protected with measures like bat-proof sleeping shelters and vaccines. This night, the vampire bat homes in on a dozing pig. She cautiously swoops down and hops around to assess the situation's riskiness. With powerful long forelips and thumbs, she can stand, jump, and even run on all fours. In fact, the vampire bat's forelip powered bounding gait is whole unique among animals. She usually specialized heat sensing receptors to detect the warm blood running beneath the skin's surface. And she finds a spot where she's less likely to get caught, protecting herself from possible reprisal and from starvation as she races the clock. She delicately pierces the pig's skin with her curved, razor sharp incisors. They have less protective enam- enamels enamel than most mammal teeth, and the friction between the upper incisors and lower can canines helps keep them particularly pointy. In fact, vampire bats may have the animal kingdom's sharpest incisors. Her, s- her saliva also contains a cocktail of proteins sec- secreted from six glands in her neck. It keeps the blood flowing by preventing platelets clumping, from clumping, and plasma proteins from turning solid, while also dilating the pig's vessels and dissolving existing blood clots. She laps the flowing blood, the notch in her lower jaw, shunting the liquid into two channels underneath her tongue, while the blood is relatively nutrient poor, consisting mostly of water and some protein. Her body and microbiome eke out what it offers, but she also has a fast metabolism and needs to replenish her energy stores quickly. A common vampire bat will perish without food for more than 2 nights. Ideally, she would stay stealth long enough to take in a little over a tablespoon of the pig's blood. Then she'd been in a good shape. But the pig starts suddenly throwing her off, dodging its trampling hooves. The vampire bat propels herself back into the night air. She tries to feed again, but each interruption puts her at greater risk. Thankfully, she doesn't live alone, and even though it's a in the considerable sacrifice, one of her companions throws her a lifeline, covering up the hard-won results of her own high-stakes hunting heist, and making it dinner for two. This isn't uncommon. Vampire bats under 2 years old tend to miss a meal as much as once every 3 nights as they learn the ropes. So their colonies rely on these rather extreme acts of cooperation to survive. Without them, it's thought their mortality rates would increase dramatically. Vampire bat colonies are networks of intimate grooming and food sharing bonds that go beyond blood, so to speak. A strong history of reciprocal food sharing and grooming can be even more important than relatedness. When a vampire bat is deciding whether whether to donate a meal or respond to a contact call. So thanks to her community, the bat survives, primed to regurgitate the favor in the future.